Welcome back to Easy English Boost. In this part, we will continue our lesson on adjectives. In today's video, we'll cover possessive adjectives and distributive adjectives and understand how they are used in English sentences. Now, let's begin with possessive adjectives. A possessive adjective is a word that shows ownership or belonging. It tells us who something belongs to, and it always comes before a noun. In English, the possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. These words describe a noun by showing possession. For example, my phone is charging. Her idea won the contest. Their house looks beautiful at night. In each sentence, the possessive adjective tells us whose phone, idea, or house we are talking about. Understanding possessive adjectives helps us speak and write more clearly when showing ownership. Now, let's understand the difference between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. Both show ownership, but they are used differently. First, let's talk about purpose. Possessive adjectives describe a noun by showing who owns it. Possessive pronouns replace a noun to avoid repetition. Next, let's look at position. Possessive adjectives come before a noun. Possessive pronouns stand alone. Possessive adjectives are followed by a noun. Possessive pronouns are not followed by a noun. For example, my book, we say, this book is mine. Her keys, we say, the keys are hers. Their car, we say, that car is theirs. So remember, if the word is followed by a noun, it is a possessive adjective. If it stands alone and replaces the noun, it is a possessive pronoun. Now, let's look at some common mistakes to avoid. First, its and its. Its is a possessive adjective. Its means it is or it has. For example, the cat cleaned its paws. Correct. The cat cleaned its paws. Incorrect. Next, your and your. Your shows possession. Your means you are. For example, where is your phone? Correct. Your phone is ringing. Incorrect. Finally, there, and there. There shows possession. There means they are. There refers to a place or location. For example, they forgot their keys. Correct. Now, let's look at one more common mistake. Whose and whose. Whose shows belonging. Whose means who is or who has. For example, whose wallet is this? Correct. Whose wallet is this? Incorrect. Always remember, if you can replace it with who is or who has, then whose is correct. If not, you should use whose. Here's an important note. Many teachers also call possessive adjectives possessive determiners. Both names are correct. One more useful tip. In modern English, there can be used as a gender-neutral singular form. For example, every student must bring their ID. This usage is natural and widely accepted in English today. Now, let's look at the forms of possessive adjectives and their matching possessive pronouns. My becomes mine. Your becomes yours. His remains his. Her becomes hers. Its does not have a possessive pronoun form. Our becomes ours. Their becomes theirs. And whose can function as both an adjective and a pronoun. Learning these pairs will help you use ownership words correctly and confidently. Now, here is an important note. Its has no possessive pronoun form, and whose can function as both an adjective and a pronoun. There is no possessive pronoun form of its in modern English. We simply do not use one. Why? Because its is only a possessive adjective. For example, the dog wagged its tail. English does not have a word like its is or any similar possessive pronoun form, so we do not say, the tail is its. That is inaccurate. Instead, we restructure the sentence. We say the tail belongs to the dog, or the tail is the dog's. This is how English naturally expresses possession in this case. Here's something very important. Do not confuse its and its. Its is possessive. Its is the short form of it is or it has. For example, its color is blue. It's raining today. Always check, can you expand it to it is or it has? If yes, then use its. If not, use its. And remember, nothing is used in place of its. English simply does not have a possessive pronoun form for it. Now, let's move on to distributive adjectives. Distributive adjectives refer to individual members of a group, one at a time. We use them to talk about people or things separately, not as a whole group. Some common distributive adjectives are each, every, either, neither, any, and one. Here are some key points to remember. Distributive adjectives highlight individuality within a group. They are usually followed by a singular noun. For example, each student, every book. When we use them with of, the noun becomes plural. For example, each of the students. Even though the noun after of is plural, the verb that follows is generally singular. Understanding distributive adjectives will help you speak more clearly when talking about members of a group, one by one. Now, let's understand each. Each refers to every member of a group individually, one by one. It focuses on people or things separately. Let's look at some examples. Each student has submitted the form. He thanked each guest personally. Each of the applicants is expected to arrive early. There is a security guard at each gate. Now here are some important structure notes. We say each plus singular noun. For example, each child, each chapter. When we use each of, it is followed by a plural noun or pronoun. For example, each of the players, each of them. Even though the noun is plural after of, the verb is still singular. That is how we correctly use each in English. Now, let's talk about every. Every refers to all members of a group, but it still considers them individually. It includes everyone or everything in the group. Let's look at some examples. Every employee received an email. She practices piano every evening. Every house on this street looks beautiful. Every one of the students was ready for the test. Now, let's understand the difference between each and every. Each focuses on individuals one by one. Every focuses on the group as a whole, but it still means all. Both are followed by a singular noun and usually take a singular verb. Understanding this difference will help you use them correctly in sentences. Now, either. Either refers to one out of two possible choices. It is used when there are only two options and one of them can be chosen. Let's look at some examples. You can choose either side of the road. Either of the answers could be correct. You may call me on either number. Either you start now or will be late. Remember, either is used when we are talking about two choices only. It helps us express that one option is acceptable. Now, let's understand any. Any is used to refer to one or some without specifying which one. It does not point to a particular person or thing. Let's look at some examples. Is there any milk left? You may ask any question at the end. I didn't see any of the players outside. Do you have any idea what happened? Now here's an important note. Any often appears in negative sentences and in questions, but it still functions as a distributive adjective when it refers to individual choices within a group. It gives the idea of no specific one, or whichever one. Now, let's understand any. Any is used to refer to one or some without specifying which one. It does not point to a particular person or thing. Let's look at some examples. Is there any milk left? You may ask any question at the end. I didn't see any of the players outside. Do you have any idea what happened? Now here's an important note. Any often appears in negative sentences and in questions, but it still functions as a distributive adjective when it refers to individual choices within a group. It gives the idea of no specific one, or whichever one. Finally, let's look at one. One is used as a distributive adjective when it points to a single person or item out of a group. It highlights just one member. Let's look at some examples. Please pick one book to take home. Only one student arrived early. One of the boys was absent today. Can you bring one more chair? Remember, one focuses on a single member within a larger group. It helps us speak clearly when we want to select or mention just one. Let's look at some common mistakes with distributive adjectives. These are small errors, but they can change your grammar completely. First mistake, using a plural noun after each or every. We do not say each student must sign the form. We say each student must sign the form. We do not say every houses on the street look old. We say every house on the street looks old. Remember, each and every are followed by a singular noun. Second mistake, using a plural verb after each or every. We do not say each player are ready. We say each player is ready. We do not say every mobile have a charger. We say every mobile has a charger. Even though we are talking about many people or things, the verb is singular. Third mistake, forgetting to use of before plural nouns. We do not say each the boys passed. We say each of the boys passed. We do not say neither my friends came. We say neither of my friends came. When we use a plural noun after these words, we must use of. Now, let's look at a few more common mistakes. Fourth mistake, confusing either and neither. We do not say either boy didn't come. This is incorrect because the meaning becomes confusing. We say neither boy came. That means none of the two boys came. Another example, we do not say neither answer is correct. You can choose. If one of the two answers is correct, we say either answer is correct. Remember, either means one of the two. Neither means not one and not the other. Fifth mistake, using every when there are only two items. We do not say every option is good. If there are only two options, we say either option is good, because every is used when there are more than two items. For two items, we use either. Sixth mistake, overusing any when a specific word is needed. We do not say you can sit in any two seats. If there are only two seats, we say you can sit in either seat. We do not say I like any of these two shirts. We say I like either of these shirts. When there are only two choices, either is clearer and more accurate than any. Pay attention to these small differences, and your English will sound much more natural and correct. So far, we've learned what adjectives are and explored possessive and distributive adjectives with clear examples. You now understand how these adjectives help us show ownership and talk about individual members in a group. In the next video, we'll continue with other types of adjectives and discover more ways to make our English more descriptive and more precise. Keep practicing what you've learned today, and I'll see you in the next part. You've done an amazing job today. If you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. Learning English is easy, fun, and exciting with Easy English Boost. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll continue our journey to master English together.